every weapon Ukraine has used against Russia and full combat arsenal. Since February 2022, over 150 weapon systems have been deployed in Ukraine. Every missile, every drone, every tank killer. Let's break it all down. These are the weapons that turned Russian tank columns into burning scrap metal in the opening weeks of the war. FGM-148 Javelin, nicknamed Saint Javelin. America's fire and forget tank destroyer became a cultural icon overnight. It attacks from above, striking the weakest armor on any tank. Over 8,500 units delivered. The weapon that made Russian tankers fear the tree line. NLAW, the ambush king. Britain's next-generation light anti-tank weapon, designed for close urban combat. Effective range of 800 meters, requires minimal training, deadly accurate. Perfect for territorial defense forces with weeks of preparation. Carl Gustaf M4, the recoilless veteran. Sweden's multi-role shoulder launcher with decades of proven combat history. Versatile enough to destroy bunkers, buildings, and armored vehicles. Old-school firepower that still punches above its weight. Panzerfaust III. German engineering returns to the East. Germany's modern interpretation of World War II rocket technology, capable of penetrating over 900 meters of armor with tandem warheads. History echoing through modern battlefields. Stugna P, Ukraine's homegrown killer. A Ukrainian-designed guided missile that proved domestic innovation matters. Remote-controlled launch allows operators to fire from 50 meters away. Ukrainian hands building Ukrainian victories. AT-4. The disposable devastator, Sweden's single-shot anti-armor weapon. Simple and brutally effective. Thousands delivered, thousands expended, countless vehicles destroyed, when quantity becomes its own quality. Now the drones, the eyes and fists of modern war. No conflict has ever seen drone warfare at this scale. Ukraine rewrote the rulebook. Bayraktar TB2, the Turkish terror. Turkey's medium-altitude armed drone became an early war legend, destroyed entire convoy columns in the first months, spawned folk song, the drone that made the world pay attention. Switchblade 300 and 600, the kamikaze wasp, America's loitering munitions that hunt and eliminate targets autonomously. Fits in a backpack, flies for 40 minutes, delivers precision death, the future of infantry-level air support. Phoenix Ghost, the classified shadow. Purpose-built for Ukraine's specific operational needs. Minimal public information. Designed by EVEX Aerospace on accelerated timeline. When governments fast-track death from above. R-18 Octocopter, the grenade dropper. Ukrainian-made commercial drones converted for combat. Drops modified grenades and mortar rounds onto trenches and vehicles. DIY warfare at its most terrifying. Shark Reconnaissance UAV, the quiet observer. Ukrainian surveillance drone coordinating artillery strikes. Eyes in the sky, guiding shells onto target. Seeing everything, saying nothing. Warmate, Poland's precision package. Polish loitering munition adding NATO capability. Modular warheads for different mission profiles. European solidarity with explosive results. PD-2, the Ukrainian workhorse. Domestically produced reconnaissance platform, combat proven across the front. Carries various payloads. Adapts to mission requirements. Ukrainian innovation meeting Ukrainian needs. Artillery systems, the king of battle. Artillery causes over 70% of casualties in this war. These systems have reshaped the front line. M777 howitzer, the 777, America's lightweight 155 mm gun, towed behind trucks. Fires precision-guided Excalibur rounds with GPS accuracy, the weapon that extended Ukraine's reach. HIMARS, the game-changer. High-mobility artillery rocket system changed the strategic equation overnight. GPS guided rockets destroying ammunition depots 80 kilometers behind line. The single system Russia fears most. M270 MLRs, the steel rain machine. Tracked version of HIMARS carries double the rockets. Heavier, slower, twice the firepower when you need to saturate an area. PZH-2000, German Precision Thunder. Germany's self-propelled howitzer, among the world's most advanced. Fires 5 rounds in 9 seconds, relocates before counter-battery response. Shoot and scoot perfected. Caesar, France's rolling artillery. Truck-mounted 155 mm system, rapid deployment capability. Combat proven in Afghanistan and Africa before Ukraine. Versatility on wheels. Crab, the Polish Crab. Poland's self-propelled howitzer combining British turret and Korean chassis. NATO standard 155 mm shells at extended range. International cooperation in steel. M109 Paladin, America's mobile fortress. Self-propelled 155 mm howitzer with decades of combat history. Protected crew compartment. Digital fire control. The artillery piece that keeps firing. 2S-22 Bodana, Ukraine's own thunder. First Ukrainian-made 155 mm self-propelled gun. NATO-compatible, domestically produced. Independence measured in caliber. Archer, Sweden's artillery assassin. The most automated artillery system on the battlefield. One crew member can operate, fires and displaces in 30 seconds. The future of artillery, today. Air defense, the shield. Ukraine's survival depends on keeping Russian aircraft and missiles away from cities. S-300, the Soviet survivor. Cold War-era long-range system, still forming the backbone of Ukraine's defenses. Targets aircraft, cruise missiles, and ballistic threats. Old technology fighting a new war. Iris-T Slem, German Guardian. Germany's medium-range modern system protecting critical infrastructure. Combat debut in Ukraine exceeded all expectation. Proving grounds under fire. NASAM, Norwegian-American partnership. Advanced surface-to-air system using AMRAAM missiles. Protecting Kyiv from cruise missiles and drones. Layers of defense, layers of survival. Patriot, the legend. America's premier air defense system, the most advanced provided to Ukraine. Intercepting ballistic missiles, including hypersonic Kinzhal. The system Russia claimed was impossible to kill has killed impossible targets. Leopard, the anti-drone specialist. German self-propelled anti-aircraft gun, retired then reactivated. 35 mm cannons shredding Iranian drones. Second career, first-rate results. Hawk, the Cold War comeback. 1960s-era medium-range system refurbished for modern combat. Upgraded targeting systems. Proven intercept capability. Old Hawks still hunt. Crotal, French firepower. Short-range air defense adding another layer. Mobile, responsive, effective against low-flying threats. Every layer counts. Stinger, the shoulder-fired legend. Man-portable air defense missile. Afghanistan's legacy. Thousands provided. Helicopters and jets downed. The weapon that gives infantry teeth against aircraft. Starstreak, British hypersonic needle. Fastest short-range missile in service, 3-dart projectile. No countermeasures can defeat it. Speed kills. Armored vehicles and tanks. Steel fists. Ground combat requires armor. Ukraine received the world's arsenal. Leopard 2A4 and 2A6, the German cat. Western main battle tank breaking the taboo of sending heavy armor. Rheinmetall 120 mm gun. Composite armor, night vision. NATO's standard becoming Ukraine's spear. M1 Abrams. American iron. America's iconic main battle tank arriving on the battlefield. Gas turbine engine. Depleted uranium armor package. The most recognizable tank in the world. Challenger 2. British steel. United Kingdom's main battle tank with rifled gun. Never lost to enemy fire in its history. A record tested in Ukraine. T-72 variant. The Soviet backbone upgraded. Refurbished Polish, Czech, and Slovenian tanks flooding into Ukraine. Familiar systems for Ukrainian crews with Western upgrades. Quantity with improvement. Bradley M2A2. The Infantry Fortress. American infantry fighting vehicle with proven tank-killing capability. TOW missile launchers engaging Russian armor. More than a transport, a weapon system. Martyr. German infantry support. Cold War-era infantry fighting vehicle with autocannon. Protected transport that fights. Reliability across decades. CV-90. Scandinavian excellence. Swedish infantry fighting vehicle among the world's best. Modular design, combat-proven systems. Nordic engineering in Eastern Europe. Stryker, the wheeled warrior. 8-wheeled American armored fighting vehicle offering speed. Multiple variants for different missions. Mobility as protection. AMX-10 ARC, the French wheeled tank. Light tank on wheels. Reconnaissance fire support. First Western armored vehicle announced, breaking the seal. M113, the battlefield taxi. Decades-old armored personnel carrier, still moving troops. Thousands produced, still relevant. Old reliable. Missiles, long-range punishment. Ukraine's ability to strike deep has grown exponentially. Storm Shadow and Scalp, the bunker breaker. British-French cruise missile striking Crimean targets. Range over 250 kilometers. Precision warhead. The weapon that made no headquarters safe. ATACMS, the depot destroyer. American tactical ballistic missile for HIMARS. 300-kilometer range engaging airfields and logistics. The gift Ukraine waited months to receive. Harpoon, the ship killer. American anti-ship missile adapted for coastal defense, threatening Russian naval dominance in the Black Sea. Neptune's American cousin. Neptune, Ukraine's ship killer, domestically developed anti-ship cruise missile, sank the Moskva, Russia's Black Sea flagship, the most consequential Ukrainian weapon of the war. HIMARS, the radar hunter, high-speed anti-radiation missile seeking enemy air defenses, adapted for Ukrainian aircraft through engineering genius, making the skies less defended. Brimstone, the precision swarm, British precision missile with autonomous targeting, multiple missiles coordinating attacks, intelligent destruction, aircraft fighting for the sky. Despite Russian numerical superiority, Ukraine's air force fights on. MiG-29, the Fulcrum, Soviet-designed multi-role fighter supplied by Poland and Slovakia. Aging but upgraded, still engaging Russian aircraft, buying time for better things. Su-27, the flanker, larger Soviet interceptor, long-range air-to-air capability. Ukraine's air superiority fighter, standing guard since independence. Su-24, the fencer, Soviet attack aircraft adapted for Storm Shadow delivery. Ground attack missions across the front. Old airframe, new weapon. Su-25, the Frogfoot, armored ground attack aircraft surviving punishment. Close air support despite constant danger. Built to take hits. F-16, the Viper, American multi-role fighter arriving after extensive training, will transform Ukraine's air capabilities. The most anticipated aircraft of the conflict. Naval and coastal. Black Sea dominance. Ukraine has no major warships. It didn't need them. Sea Baby Usvi, the drone boat, Ukrainian uncrewed surface vessel carrying explosives, swarming attacks on Russian naval vessels, asymmetric warfare on the water. Magura V5, the naval ghost, advanced Ukrainian maritime drone coordinating strikes, faster, smarter, deadlier than predecessors. Innovation under fire. Infantry weapons. The soldier's tools. The individual soldier remains central to this war. M4 and M16 rifles, NATO standard, American rifles replacing Soviet pattern weapons. Modular, adaptable, accurate, training complete, transition ongoing. AK-74 and AKM, the Kalashnikov legacy, still the primary Ukrainian infantry rifle. Reliable, plentiful, effective, some things never change. MG3 and M240, Western machine guns. NATO standard medium machine guns adding firepower. Belt-fed suppression. Fire superiority matters. Barrett, M82, the long arm, 50 caliber anti-material rifle, disabling equipment from extreme range. When you need to reach out and destroy something, every weapon here represents someone's fight for their home. The war continues. The arsenal keeps growing. Which weapon has been most decisive? Drop your answer in the comments.